Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Chronicles. It's morning somewhere in the world.
Okay.
Ghost Chronicles Next Generation with Van Helsing and the blonde Bombshell.
Woohoo!
And if you're on watching the video now, you'll see how awesome we freaking look. Don't we?
We've been working out, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Why do I have that grin on my face?
I don't know. It's very unusual for
That's
me.
very unusual for me.
I should have found one that was
grumpy.
The problem with that picture is that you're always wearing your hat and it shadows your face. So I couldn't find a good face to put on.
Oh, wait a minute. You saw the other one that was done with me and Lou.
Hey, it's the best I can do.
God,
Anyways.
I can't stand that grin. All right, I've had enough of that picture.
All right, we can go away now. All right.
Welcome to our Halloween show.
Here we are. Welcome.
Is this an anniversary show too? Or
No, almost.
I'm so confused.
Almost. That's next month.
Yeah.
That's next month. This is show 59.
59.
And it is our annual Halloween show. Oh, my goodness. We have to shut this thing off because we keep getting phone calls from the dead.
Cal's calling again.
And I don't
ignore it.
I don't know.
Ignore it.
All right.
That's
it may
fine.
go off again at any given moment. Oh, where am I? I'm over here.
Right there. What are you looking
There
for?
I am. I'm trying to find my camera.
Put glasses on, you might do it.
Well, anyways. No, I can see far away.
You look kind of sexy in that, don't you?
Ooh.
Look at you.
I'm
Ooh.
Morticia.
Differently.
Kind of.
Just don't speak
Kind of.
French, you know.
My hair. I
But you
don't
know
know
it.
how to speak French. Gomez spoke French.
Parlez-vous français? No, she
She
did.
would-
And he would always
speak
go into
French.
a rage. And remember, he'd take a hint.
Don't.
Shut up.
Don't.
I didn't kiss it. Oh,
No,
stop it.
don't do that. Yes. Yes.
You can be fixed, you know.
I'm going to turn the phone calls from the dead off because, you know what?
What?
They're pretty annoying. Be quiet.
I thought you turned it
Be
off.
quiet. I did. I don't know why it's doing that because we've been sitting here this whole time and it's been nice and quiet.
Haunted.
All of a sudden, we have phone calls from the dead.
So you see this cool?
That is awesome.
Yeah, you can hold it.
No, I'm a vampire.
Oh, yeah. Where's your
I
teeth?
can't hold that.
Where's your teeth?
No teeth. Man, do you know how complicated those teeth are?
I wouldn't want to
I
mess
can't
with them.
even tell you. I read the instructions today.
Yeah?
I'm like, no teeth. We're not doing the teeth.
So,
So yes, tell us about.
everybody's speaking up today.
Everything is going off here. Okay.
All right, so this is a vampire kit. Of course, you got your wooden stakes, right?
Yes.
You got your little bottle of, I think I drank it.
I think it's empty.
Holy water, it used to be. And there's a cross in there somewhere
But we
as well.
can't. You need to talk about that later. We don't want to kill me off quite yet.
No, I'm not
Right.
killing anybody
Okay.
yet. No, I want to talk about this kit right now.
Oh, all right.
Because this was given to me. This is a Gothic collection.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Vampire Hunter's Kit. What I wanted to talk about was the dangers involved in this.
Okay.
And it's printed right on there. This is a Vampire Hunter's Kit. Never use on a living person.
Oh,
It's
okay.
right on the
I
right
hope not.
on the thing.
All right.
Right?
It's a good idea not to use it on a living person.
Right. And it says Dawn. I don't know what Dawn is, but Dawn Not, D-O-N-N-O-T. Dawn Not. This is in Scandinavia. Dawn Not, leave
Chinese.
where children can access it.
Okay.
Okay? And we accept no responsibility for the irresponsible use of this kit.
Nice.
Yep. So there you go. Dawn Not.
So remember, kids, only use it on dead people,
Right.
not live people.
Caution, contains sharp points.
All right. So if
Oh,
you
well.
haven't guessed by now, our Halloween show this year is about vampires.
Yes, it is.
And
Who got cookie crumbs on the paper?
Van Helsing did.
Oops.
Van Helsing did.
There you go.
Speaking of which,
Van Helsing.
I think that we're going to learn about
Do you know
Van
who
Helsing.
Van Helsing is?
You know, I honestly don't know who Van Helsing is. As a vampire, I should know these things.
Kind of should, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Van Helsing comes from, Abraham Van Helsing comes from the novel, Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula.
Okay.
And he was the guy that took care of Lucy when she was sick and knew everything else, and he was very smart. So, but other than that, people don't really know who he is. So, anyways, if you, excuse me, if we read the novel as a story of supremacy over good, over evil, then Van Helsing is undoubtedly the representative that all that is positive, just like me.
That's you to a
Yep.
T, Ron.
He combines a number of traits. He's a man of knowledge who combines science and superstition to solve the mystery of attacks on Lucy. He is also a fearless leader who hunts down and tracks Dracula, and a moral inspiration in the terms of the Christian faith to bolster the others to contend with the horror of vampirism.
Aha.
So this is where it's a little bit interesting. Van Helsing comes from Amsterdam in the book and is brought into the story by Dr. John Seward, who is attempting to solve the mystery of Lucy's illness. Seward refers to Van Helsing as an old friend and master, a world expert on obscure diseases, a philosopher, a metaphysician, and one of the most advanced scientists of his day. While the age of Van Helsing is never given, there are several references to the fact that he is old.
Like you.
Exactly. I'm going to get to the close things. His profession credentials are very well advertised, beginning with the list of degrees following his name. He is a medical doctor, doctor of philosophy. His knowledge is encyclopedic, ranging from technicalists to the theories of hypnotism. As for his disposition, we are told he has a iron nerve and a temper of an ice brook, and indomitable resolution, self-command, and tolerant.
Did you practice this? You're doing really well.
We've given a few hints about Van Helsing's personal life.
Usually he doesn't do this well with big words.
His wife still lives, presumably committed to an asylum.
Oh.
And his son died as a child. So anyways, that's the character of Van Helsing. And as everybody knows, that I am New England's Van Helsing.
Of course.
So how
England's own Van Helsing.
how do I fit in with this character in the book? You'll probably ask yourself.
I have asked myself that. I have.
You said, Anne, how does Ron fit in with the character of Van Helsing in the book?
I have.
Yes.
Daily.
Well, as it turns out, I have a degree in environmental science.
There you go.
Which is basically all the sciences. Environmental sciences, you study everything. You study everything from physics to oceanography to geology, biology, all the ologies, basically.
All the ologies.
All the ologies. I also worked on a space program, blah, 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 blah.
Goodness.
But there's more to Van Helsing than that. So
very deep.
he's also a man of learned, but he's also a master in study of the crafts. And like myself, I have become a Reiki practitioner. I have learned to Tao's. I have gone into all the metaphysical arts and learned them. So that's very simple. But there are more. There are more.
But wait, there's more.
Right. So the name Kolek actually means wooden peg or wooden stake. There you go.
Goodness.
Now,
look at all these similarities.
It gets better. the inspiration of Bram Stoker's Dracula is based on a real life person by the name of Gregor Andreas Hellwig or Helsing.
Ooh.
Who is Polish. Just like this Van Helsing.
The Polish connection.
In fact, he comes from the same region as my ancestors.
Ooh.
So the similarities are eerily very.
A lot of parallels there.
I know it.
Maybe you should have your DNA done.
I believe I'm the real Van Helsing.
Be
You
a
know, I'm
descendant,
thinking of it. I'm thinking of
direct
it.
descendant.
And I didn't know all this. This is all stuff I've acquired knowledge over the years. That the similarities are frightening.
That is really crazy.
You wake up at night and say, "Wow, is he really?" I could be like, Reincarnation. Anyway, makes you want to go,
Perfect. Things that make you go,
So there you go. All right, so anyways,
Oh my
that
goodness.
is,
Story of Van Helsing.
yeah,
Well,
and
thank
how,
you. I'm
how
glad
I compare with them.
you cleared that up for me because I was never really
I
quite
know, you
sure.
used to stay awake at night wondering that,
Yes,
right? I
yes,
know it.
Yes, tossing.
You'd be rolling in the bed when Tom was snoring and say,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
anyway,
Well, on that note,
we do want to say we have lots of surprises in the show
we
today.
do.
Yeah,
We have many surprises. for
besides the
you
phone.
this evening, besides our random phone calls from the dead, which hopefully will not happen anymore. Keep it take it easy with those steaks. Ooh. See? Here we go again. You can't make too much noise over there. All right. So our first surprise.
Prize or surprise?
Surprise.
Okay.
Surprise that we're going
Talking
to
like me now.
we're going to
That's
take
scary.
care of tonight.
Very scary.
We recently were pleased to be visited by Dylan Jones.
You really studied this opening, didn't you?
I did. Does it show?
Yeah.
So Dylan Jones is
slick.
here from the UK for Spirit Quest, along with Steve Parsons.
And also the teller of curious
And
tales.
also the teller of curious tales. And he left a little story for us
Left a little nugget.
to share on our Halloween show.
Yep.
So if we could roll the teller of curious tales, please.
This ought to be good.
Welcome to you, brave listener. I, the teller of curious tales, open my book once again and bring you strange and unusual stories, true stories, stranger than any fiction ever written. I'm going to take you back to a little Welsh village and a haunted pub in the village of Llaragub. Now, the pub, called the Frog and Lettuce, was owned by a very lovely landlord who had a spaniel as a pet. Now, this dog he was given as a puppy, and the landlord brought this little dog up from a few weeks old until he became such an important part of the life of the village, the pub. All the regulars loved this little spaniel and very often would feed it leftover food and would share their drinks of beer with it. And over the years, the spaniel was just as important to everybody as the landlord himself. Unfortunately, after 14 years of being the spaniel to the landlord, the dog sadly passed away. The landlord was heartbroken. He didn't know what to do. And after some consoling, the villagers persuaded him that he should bury the dog just outside the door of the pub. And that he did. Taking the little lifeless body outside, he dug a hole and placed the little creature in it. You have to excuse me, it's a very upsetting story. The spaniel was laid to rest, upon which the landlord really felt that he couldn't bear to think of his little dog lying in the ground. So he decided to keep a piece of the spaniel with him. Taking a knife, he cut off the dog's tail before filling the earth over the little body. And that tail he placed behind the bar in the pub as a constant reminder of his faithful friend. That was 1 January when the dog died. Later that year on Halloween, after the regulars had left the pub, just approaching midnight, the landlord was clearing everything away when he heard a scratching from outside. Thinking perhaps a twig or a branch had blown across the door, he ignored it at first. But then came a mournful growl from outside, and once more a scratching on the door. He called out, "Who's there?" And a gruff little voice from outside said, "It is I, your spaniel. I cannot enter dog heaven." To which the landlord replied, "It can't be you, you died." And the spaniel said, "It is I. I cannot enter dog heaven. I am not whole. I am missing something. And the landlord realized who it was. It was his faithful pet outside the door. Once again the spaniel said, let me in, I can't enter heaven, I'm not whole. Glancing at his watch, the landlord said, I'm sorry, I can't let you in. You know full well that I can't retail spirits after midnight.
Oh.
Retail spirits.
That's terrible.
Retail spirits.
That's awful. Oh, when you thought it was a ghost story.
Alas, poor Eric. I knew him well.
Oh my God.
That was horrible.
Oh. Well, thank you, teller of curious tales.
Yeah,
and
thanks a
I'm
lot.
sure we'll be hearing more from him.
I'm sure we will. If he comes in here, I'm going to pound him one. Oh, be quiet.
Okay. Get it all out, Ghost. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we've heard about the poor little dog having his tail chopped off, what a way to remember your dog. Anyways, we're going to talk about some vampire
I could
history.
go there, but I'm not going to. So many bad things came to my mind.
It's just awful.
It
It's
is.
awful.
Right.
All right, I'm going to
What
put
peop-
on.
People would, never mind.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. All right, I'm going to put on my Morticia glasses here because,
Really?
yeah,
What do you have?
Morticia wore glasses. How's that? Right? She did. She
Right.
did. I remember. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about New England's vampire
Really?
history.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yeah.
We are?
Isn't that next on the list?
I don't know.
It's vampire history.
Well, let's hear about
Talk
the
about
vampire
somebody who
history of New
hasn't
England.
come prepared to this show. All
Oh,
right.
wait a minute, wait. In all fairness, you're the only one that's got the stupid little list here. What have I got to do? My poor little
You went
old
through
memory.
the list with me 3 times, all right?
Really?
All right. So vampires are a part of today's popular culture, and we tune in to watch them battle handsome werewolves and seduce the young and innocent.
Handsome werewolves?
Handsome werewolves.
I guess if you're into that kind of
Well,
thing. Hairy men.
Hairy men. Sometimes get their butts kicked by a cheerleading slayer. In
Bucky.
1960s, the popular TV show Dark Shadows. Remember that?
That was good. We
Remember
were at the
Dark Shadows?
Collingwood, remember?
We went to the Collinwood, yes,
Yes.
in New York, which is
We
a
should have
big
put a picture of that up there. We didn't.
which is an homage to
Homage.
homage.
Oh, don't speak French. You get me going again.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. All right. Anyways, Dark Shadows told the spooky but melodramatic tale of Maine vampire Barnabas Collins and his family.
Did you ever watch that?
I did when I was a little kid.
Me too.
I was a little kid. I don't think I was supposed to be
Right.
watching it.
Whatever. It was
But
good.
my husband used to watch it. He said he used to hide behind the chair.
Van Helsing, that guy behind it.
Stephen King's 1975 horror novel Salem's Lot, that was creepy.
was
Yes,
creepy.
I saw that. Likewise revolved around a vampire enclave in Maine. Okay, more
Stephen
recently,
King, Maine. That's a surprise.
the 2006 movie The Covenant offered a story of vampires at a Massachusetts prep school. But did you know that New England actually has a very long vampire history?
No.
In fact, there was a time when Rhode Island was considered the vampire capital of America. Go figure. All right? So New England vampire history and hysteria kicked off a full century after the region's better remembered witch trials. And
Witch trials?
although Rhode Island was seemingly the epicenter, it was a region-wide
trials?
phenomenon.
Which trial?
Witch trials, I'm sorry. Witch trials. I even have my glasses on.
Which?
The New England vampire panic that started in the 1790s built upon earlier outbreaks in Europe. As communities grasped for explanations for infectious diseases before such illnesses were scientifically understood. So they had these things happening and people were like, well, must be a vampire.
Not Van Helsing.
So not Van Helsing. In New England, early New England, the disease that we now know as tuberculosis was commonly called consumption. The classic symptoms are a chronic, sometimes bloody cough, along with fever and weight loss. To helpless loved ones, it appeared as though the victim was withering away, aka being consumed. Consumption. Without medicine to slow its spread, TB was a devastating affliction, and by the dawn of the 19th century, it was responsible for approximately 1 out of every 4 deaths in the eastern United States. To this day, tuberculosis remains the world's most deadly infectious disease, responsible for well over 1 million deaths each year. So many New Englanders were thinking that this was vampires, not a disease that was responsible for the symptoms. Of course, not everyone bought into the superstition, and they cautioned people about being misled by quack doctors who encouraged families to dig up and burn dead relatives.
Good idea.
Against
I have a couple I'd like to dig
to
up.
stop consumption from spreading. And the legend being that the surest way to stop a vampire was to burn its vital organs. And actually, many times they would feed them to the afflicted, thinking that it would cure them. But they had tuberculosis, they were going to die. But they thought it was vampires. So the first vampire was Rachel Harris from Manchester, Vermont. One of the earliest known cases of New England vampirism to have a name attached to it was that of Rachel Harris, who died of tuberculosis in 1790. The year after her death, her widower, Captain Isaac Burton, married her stepsister, Huldah.
Actually, that's not uncommon, you know.
No, I know, they used to do that all the time.
Yeah, if your brother's wife died, then they would you would marry her wife because you were supposed to like take care of them.
Yeah, and they needed somebody to take care of all those kids because, you know, the men weren't going to do it.
That's for damn sure.
So before long, Huldah began exhibiting symptoms similar to Rachel's, and family and friends therefore reasoned that Rachel was the culprit. In February 1793, more than 500 Manchester residents braved frigid temperatures to watch the liver, heart, and lungs, yum yum, be removed from Rachel's exhumed corpse and burned on a blacksmith's forge. According to some versions of the tale, portions of the organs were preserved to make a medicine for Huldah. Regardless, she died that September.
Bummer.
Following her death, did the good people of Manchester realize the error of their ways? Sort of. They reasoned that Rachel hadn't been a vampire at all, but a witch.
Makes sense to me.
Right? Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
All right, so our next vampire was Abigail Staples from Cumberland, Rhode Island. In February 1796...
So wait a minute, are all vampires women?
I am not sure. All of, actually, no, we have a man. We have a man on the list. Okay.
You know.
February 1796, the Cumberland Town Council granted permission for Stephen Staples to exhume the body of his 23-year-old daughter, Abigail, who had died of consumption. Shortly after Abigail's death, her sister, Lavinia, had started showing the familiar symptoms of consumption. Lavinia told of dreams in which a shadowy figure sat heavily on her chest and drew out her breath. During one of these dreams, she reportedly called out Abigail's name. The town officials consented that Staples could try an experiment to save Lavinia's life, despite noting the decision was made against the better conscience of this council. There is no record of what came of the exhumation, or, for that matter, of Lavinia. I'm sure she died.
Yeah.
So we have the
You got a
Spalding.
grave, I guess it would make sense.
Yeah. Well, no, Abigail died, and Lavinia was the one
sure
who
they have a
got
grave for
consumption
her.
next.
They just
yes.
didn't stick her in a
Oh,
closet.
well, no, right. Okay. So the next one is from Dummerston, Vermont, which I've never heard of, from the Spalding family.
I was going to say something, but I'm zipping my tongue up again.
So this is in his journal entry of September 26, 1859, Henry David Thoreau noted, "The savage in man is never quite eradicated. I have just read of a family in Vermont who, several of its members having died of consumption, just burned the heart and lungs and liver of the last deceased in order to prevent any more from having it." At this time, Thoreau himself had long been battling tuberculosis, of which he would die 3 years later, although in this case no one seems to have suspected vampire involvement.
Do you know Jan's father had TB?
Really?
And her mother.
Wow.
In fact, that's how they met, in the TB hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Just a point.
Just throw that out there.
Just throw it out there.
That's unusual. Well, and they all survived.
They both survived.
They all survived. And they had children.
Yep.
Okay. As for the episode to which Thoreau referred, it is likely the 1790s ordeal of the Spaulding family. Having lost 6 of his 11 adult children to consumption, Lieutenant Leonard Spaulding was desperate. When yet another daughter grew ill, the body of the most recently deceased child was dug up and the vital organs removed and burned. Incidentally, one vampire-adjacent belief of the day was that vines would grow between buried caskets, and that once all of the burials in a plot had been so connected, another family member would die. When Spaulding's son Reuben was buried in 1794, his grave was set apart from those of his other family members, possibly to break the chain. So we have a few more, and I know this is taking a lot of time. So I'm going to, well, I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
But Sarah Tillinghast, also from Exeter, Rhode Island, first of Snuffy Tillinghast's 14 children to die. I can't even imagine these people going through this.
I can't imagine having 14 children.
Well, this is true, but, you know, and then burying all 14 of them. So this was another case where, you know, they removed the organs and tried to feed them. They burned them in front of the family home, and similar circumstances. Next one, Nancy Young from Foster, Rhode Island. And then her sister and other siblings started to decline. All the members of the family gathered around and inhaled the smoke from the burning remains of poor Nancy. And this cure apparently did not work, as 5 more children died. And then we have
That's why you had 14. If you moved
well,
a long
yeah,
way,
you know,
you still
the
got a
Ray
couple.
family and J.B. from Jewett City, Connecticut. We finally made it to Connecticut. And in 1845, 24-year-old Lemuel Ray died of consumption at age 24, followed by his father, his brother, and then 3 years later, when his brother Henry fell ill, the family took drastic measures, exhuming and burning, and Henry died despite their efforts. Of course, because everybody had consumption. So
They just didn't do the ceremony right, that's all.
I know,
Must have
I
been.
know. So all of these things had happened, and finally we come to one of the most famous vampires in New England, that of Mercy Brown, from Exeter, Rhode Island. And rather than tell you about Mercy Brown, I have a little video here that I found on YouTube, and I want to give credit to the guy who did this. His name is Don McLean. No, not Bye Bye American Pie, Don McLean.
Thank God.
And he does a little series of videos called Horror Bits, which are pretty cool. So if you want to hop on YouTube and look at those, they're very interesting. But if we could please roll the Mercy Brown video, and we'll learn all about this.
For most of human history, forensic and scientific evidence for supernatural phenomena simply didn't exist. This forced people to come to their own conclusions as to the cause of certain issues. The Salem witch trials, satanic panic, both examples of the human imagination run amok. A lesser-known example of this is the New England vampire panic, which is composed of many different incidents of hysteria, one of which being the Mercy Brown vampire incident, 1892, Exeter, Rhode Island. The family of George and Mary Brown had several cases of tuberculosis, then known as consumption, due to how the disease seemed to consume a person's entire body. The cause of consumption wouldn't be discovered for a few more years, so people were forced to come to their own conclusions. The mother, Mary, and their eldest daughter, Mary Olive, both died of the disease, and their son, Edwin, became sick in 1890. In January of 1892, their daughter, Mercy, died of the disease and was buried in a graveyard. Friends and neighbors of the family came to the belief that one of the dead family members was in fact a vampire due to the contemporary folklore that linked multiple deaths in one family to undead activity. The symptoms of consumption exacerbated the situation, making it look like some being was feeding on the victim's body. Villagers, along with journalists and the local doctor, all decided to exhume the bodies. Mary and Mary Olive's bodies exhibited extensive decomposition, but Mercy's body was still fairly intact due to being held in a freezer-like above-ground vault for 2 months following her death. An autopsy discovered the girl still had blood in her heart and liver. Everyone agreed she was a vampire. Townsfolk reported seeing her walking in the cemetery and through fields. Her brother Edwin, who had recently returned from a wellness center in Colorado and who was succumbing quickly to disease, reported that his sister Mercy was sitting on his chest, suffocating him. Mercy's heart was removed from her body, burned, and the remnants were mixed with water to give to sick Edwin as a cure that wouldn't work. Edwin died 2 months later. Mercy Brown's gravestone can still be found at Chestnut Hill Cemetery in Exeter, Rhode Island.
All right.
That's it?
That's it. That's the tale of Mercy Brown.
Okay.
And you can still go and see her grave if you would like to check it out.
Oh, you can dig her up.
Very cool. All right.
With
So
that
we're
being
gonna moving right along.
We did?
We are gonna move along, and I have. So we do have a piece coming up from our Paranews reporter, Nathan Mayer. Unfortunately, he could not be with us tonight.
Yeah, he's digging up a vampire somewhere.
Yeah, he's out digging up vampires or something. So I am going to do a top 10 list.
Really?
Which is kind of random because you could look most anywhere on the internet and have completely different top 10 lists. This is just the one that I happen to end up with. All right? Top 10 vampire movies, right?
Vampire
Ready?
movie.
All right. Starting with Salem's Lot. That was a very, very, very creepy movie, as most of Stephen King's movies are. That was from 1979. And number 9, we have 30 Days of Night. Oh, by the way, in Salem's Lot, going to jump back for a minute. Remember David Soul
Yeah,
from?
the singing group.
No.
Yes.
Well, he sang, but
Well,
not very well. He wasn't a singing group. He was on Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah,
Remember that?
but he
Remember
sang.
that show? I love that show. Oh, he didn't sing well.
I liked him.
Oh, he didn't sing well. Okay.
Don't
so
hang up
anyways,
for me, baby.
David Soul and Bonnie Bedelia. Whatever happened to Bonnie Bedelia? Whatever happened to David Soul with that?
Who the hell is Bonnie Bedelia?
I don't know, but I remember her. Okay. Number 9, 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett and Melissa George.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that one at all. Number 8, Fright Night. Christopher Lee and Roddy McDowell.
Anything with Christopher Lee has got to be good.
1985. Yeah, you know, Roddy McDowell was pretty good too.
For a monkey.
For a monkey.
Just saying.
All right. Number 7, Blade. Okay. I do have to say that throughout every top list, vampire movie list, Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Really?
Yeah, Wesley Snipes and Chris Christopherson. This was in 1998. And it's kind of a, because it was a superhero action film too. I think it also makes it very popular. But this is on every single vampire movie list.
Whatever.
All right. Number 6, The Underworld with Kate Beckinsale and Michael Sheen from 2003.
The whole series.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Number 5, From Dusk Till Dawn.
I was going to ask you if
Right?
that was on the list. That was freaky as hell.
That was
First part was a little gross.
really horrendously
Wasn't the
gross.
first part gross though, right?
Hmm?
The first part was gross.
I thought all of it was gross.
Really, but the first part, before they even get to the vampires, is pretty bad.
It's crazy. It's a crazy movie, but
Crazy. Well, it's Quentin Tarantino or whatever.
yeah,
his name is.
yep. From Dusk Till Dawn, Salma Hayek, George Clooney.
Yeah.
George Clooney. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the only sane one there.
Hubba hubba.
Yeah, right.
Okay, back when he
Excuse
was
me?
really hot. I mean, he's still hot now, but yeah. Anyways, and Quentin Tarantino.
Whatever.
Tarantino, right? It's going to be crazy if he's in it. So really, that should always be like in the top of all of them.
That was a
All right. Number 4, Nosferatu.
That is probably the creepiest vampire of them all.
He is.
He is. He's just
Super duper, yeah. Like so different.
How come I don't have a camera when I'm going? I wasted all my.
Do it again, Ron. Do it. Okay. All right. Now we got it.
Yeah, now we got it. Thank you.
Now we got it. So yeah, Nosferatu, Max Schreck, John Gotthard.
Whatever.
He was a 1922 German expressionist horror film.
Really?
Number 3, Bram Stoker's Dracula, of course.
That was kind of a sexy movie.
This was the one. Yeah, this was Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Okay, 1992. Monica Bellucci. All right.
Jim Belushi's sister.
What? Bellucci, not Belushi. Bellucci.
Whatever.
Okay.
Blue cheese.
One of my personal favorites. It's a little cheesy. The Lost Boys. Right?
Oh.
Kiefer Sutherland, Corey
Seriously?
Feldman. Yeah, they were kind of sparkly vampires. 1987.
No comment.
What can I say?
Vlad would be turning over
It
his
was
grave
like,
if he was
you
dead.
know, like the Brat Pack of vampires.
Yeah.
Jason Patrick, Corey Haim, Kiefer Sutherland,
Twilight. Woo.
Jamie Kurtz, Corey Feldman. Right? It was like the Breakfast Club of vampires,
Yeah,
right?
give me a break.
Okay, and then number 1 comes out, Interview with the Vampire
Oh, that was pretty
with
good.
Tom Cruise
That was
and Brad Pitt.
There you go.
How could you not like
Pitt
that
and
movie?
Cruise, you can't
right?
beat it.
Oh my God! So that was 1994.
So where the hell was Van Helsing?
Van Helsing? I don't know where he is, and
What?
this list goes on forever. I'm
That
just
should be
saying.
like right up there.
Let me see if I can find.
He's got Hugh Jackman, who every woman loves.
Yep, Hugh
He's got
Jackman.
a sexy girl for every guy.
Yep. I don't even know where Van Helsing is, and I'm
Whatever.
up to.
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm up in the 40s.
I don't want to hear about it.
I don't even know where Van Helsing is.
Yeah, give me that list.
So,
I'll fix it.
hey, it's the station's iPad. Don't put a stake through it. So that's my list, and I'm sticking to it. And now we're going to hear from our Paranews reporter.
Sure, why not?
So can we please roll the Paranews since I've done the top 10 vampires? He's going to do something else.
I'm sure.
Welcome to Paranormal News. I'm your host, Nathan Mayer. If you missed my previous segment, I'll shrink your head to the size of a mushroom. What was that? Oh, they just told me I can't do that. Anyways, my previous segment was part 1 of discussing a theme in the movie Beetlejuice. Now, before I begin part 2 with another, I'll give a Beetle-sized synopsis of the film for those of you that are not so familiar with it and did not see part 1. The plot revolves around a recently deceased couple, husband and wife, who became ghosts haunting their former home and commissioned a devious and bizarre ghost named Beetlejuice from the netherworld, who tries to scare away the new obnoxious inhabitants out of their home permanently. The number 3 is used several times in the film. The number of times to say commands like Beetlejuice and home, the number of times to knock on the door to get to the other side, and the number of intercessions or help vouchers allotted. The dog makes its 3rd appearance crossing in front of the Maitland's car, causing Adam and Barbara to crash into the side of the red-covered bridge. We see Jane 3 times, when she is trying to convince the Maitlands into selling their house, paying her respects after Adam and Barbara pass away, and when she gives the skeleton key to Lydia. 3 months is how long the Maitlands were waiting in the waiting room. Lydia knocks on the attic door 3 times before telling Adam and Barbara that their silly, stupid dinner parlor trick, the Deo Calypso and shrimp attack, didn't work. Juno scolds the Maitlands on 3 ways that they have really screwed up: allowing themselves to be photographed, letting Beetlejuice out and not putting him back, and letting Otho get hold of the handbook of the recently deceased. In the end, she gives him 3 tasks. Go clean house of the occupants. Don't forget the photographs that prove that there is life beyond death, and to get the damn handbook back. Beetlejuice gives Lydia 3 reasons why he can't tell her his name. Her friends who call him on the horn. He'll have to show up at shopping mall centers for openings and sign autographs all the time. The third time we see the sandworm is when he takes care of Beetlejuice. I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. When Beetlejuice is waiting in the waiting room, that number turns up on the serving sign when he is a patient number 9,998,383,750,000. Finally, there are 3 times when there is what I call the reveal scares, where something is peeled back to show something startling. Adam gets the surprise when he opens the window shade in the basement to reveal Jane's face. When Adam and Barbara are walking through the hallway, a shade suddenly opens by itself to reveal the Lost Souls room, a room for ghosts that have been exorcised, which is death for the dead. Near the end, Charles gets a fright after putting the living and the dead, harmonious lifestyles and peaceful coexistence down when Delia sneakily shows him a bust of Beetlejuice that she has made. And kind of think of it, I think this is my 3rd time wearing this outfit. Anyway, to finish my special 2-part Beetlejuice segments, I will give 3 random fun facts. Beetlejuice was the first DVD sent out by Netflix in 1998 when they used to send out DVDs before streaming services. Anyway, the last song performed at Glenn Shaddix's memorial service in September of 2010 was Deo, the Banana Boat song. The scene with the fly is a tribute to the 1958 horror film The Fly. Gina Davis, who played Barbara, starred in the 1986 The Fly. Beetlejuice has seen the 1973 film The Exorcist 167 times, and he thinks it gets funnier every time he sees it. Anyway, The Exorcist, which Gina Davis plays Angela Rance, a character from the original film in the TV series The Exorcist. Well, I hope you enjoyed these segments as much as I love researching it. I could say so much more. Anyway, back to you, Ron and Anne.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Well,
I don't see him.
yeah. All right.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
What's
so
next?
I want to do a quick thing on ways to kill a vampire. Most people know these things. Not yet, dear, not yet. Ways to kill a vampire. Garlic, number 1. Mirrors and sunlight. Crucifix and holy water. Like mine.
Good.
Good crucifix, see?
It's BAC.
It's got the skull and crossbow on it. Anyway. All right. Stake through the heart.
No! Stake through the heart.
And you're to blame.
Oh, wait. Wrong words.
That was bad.
Okay.
And finally, the one we didn't know about, a brick of stone or a vine between the teeth.
Between their teeth?
Yeah.
Like dental floss?
Yeah, evidently. If we have time, we'll go into that one. But I want to talk about something that's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is how to protect yourself from vampires around the world. Because we're world travelers now.
That's right.
There are vampires in all different countries.
Yes.
So let's figure out how to do this.
All right.
Okay. So let's start with Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Because everybody wants to go to Malaysia.
I want to go to Malaysia.
Yeah.
This vacation spot on my list.
Yeah. Whizzing through the hot and humid Malaysian night, in the air comes the horrific Pinagaglan, a flying woman's head, complete with hanging entrails.
Ew.
Once a beautiful midwife who made a pact with the devil for supernatural abilities, the Pinagaglan is cursed to detach from her body each night and search for the blood of newborn babies and expectant mothers.
Oh, that's horrible.
Possessing the ability to float through walls and squeeze through cracks or floorboards. The penganglon also is prehensile intains.
What?
Yeah.
Prehensile?
Yeah.
Is that word?
Yeah, prehensile.
Okay,
That's a good word.
all right.
Prehensile intestines have left constant sores on those whom it grasps. And it's pretty darn gross.
Oh, God, that's horrible. It's like that Star Trek thing where the thing with the suction cups used to attach
Oh, yeah,
itself
remember
to
that?
people's
Succubus, yeah,
faces.
yeah.
Succubus.
So how do you protect yourself from this
Yes.
floating head?
Yes, Ron. Yes, Van
with
Helsing. How do we protect
trailing-
ourselves?
Yes, yes. Place thorns around the windows and doors of your hostel
That might do
to
it.
snare the pentagonist's entrails.
The entrance.
If you want to really get a gung-ho, you might make a preemptive strike. Follow the creature back to its abode, wait for the next nightfall, and place broken glass in the neck of the decapitated body.
Oh,
When the protagonist, or Prignagland, tries to squeeze back into the body, its guts will be shredded.
oh my God.
So that's important.
Oh my goodness. I think I see.
It can't be.
It can't be. Is it our 11-minute warning? No way. No way.
It's your Elven minute warning.
Oh
not
my
your Elven
goodness.
warning. It's your Elven minute warning.
Who are you? Oh, there you go.
I'm
Fine.
an Elven.
So
I'm an
Okay.
Elven archer.
what the heck are you doing here?
I'm giving your Elven warning.
Oh, Elvin warning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's in your bag there,
I'm gonna give
Elvin?
you
Yeah,
the
what do we,
else that's
what do we
on
got over here? Oop. I'm going to
Yeah.
stand up, but I'm tethered.
This is a
okay.
trick.
I'm going to give you a little
Ooh.
blessing. There you go.
A little blessing.
No blessing. No,
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
no
In case
blessing.
you need some ID. Yeah, that's me.
Ah,
That's me. In case
Yeah.
you wondered, that's me.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of little, aren't you?
By the way,
Well,
everybody,
kinda
this
like-
is our director, Russ.
People say I've lost my mind. I haven't. It's right there. See?
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So
Beautiful.
I just figured I'd come out and give you your Elven morning,
Well-
minute warning. your
So
Elven
I
minute
mean
warning.
that's
Thank you.
that's quite the outfit, Mr. Elvin.
This is what happens when you spend tons of money at Ren fairs.
Is that a
I
wand?
have no other hobbies.
Is that a wand, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, yeah.
It's a cross.
Okay. We need to continue with our
It's a-
show
It's
Yeah.
a wand. Yeah.
because now we have 9 minutes left.
Yeah,
I
or
can-
something
I
like
can-
that.
Where to put my wand?
It's right here.
There we go. There we
Never
go.
mind.
I wouldn't want to touch
Okay,
your
I'm
wand.
I'm not going to
Ooh,
say
don't.
it.
No, but I will put a spell on you. Omni Dabisco DuPont latex. There.
DuPont
right.
latex. Wait a
Thank
minute.
you.
Wait a minute, Mr. Elfin. We can't go away without an elfin
take a
picture.
All right.
There you
Turn
go.
out in about 11 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Elvin.
Yeah. That makes absolutely no sense, but what?
Thank you.
Is that Elvin
Okay.
Presley?
You're welcome.
Elvin
Thank
Presley.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
Everybody. Bye. Go back to the wide shot.
Oh, that was so
What
bizarre.
happened to my wide shot? Okay. Oh! Oh! Ooh! All right.
After that one, you can't wait to
Speed
hear.
it up there, Van Helsing. Now we got like 9 minutes.
So what? So anyways, Brazil. If you ever go to Brazil, throw away your Anne Rice-inspired notions of dark, seductive bloodsuckers lurking in your boudoir, and say hello to the
Boudoir.
La Boschmo men, the hobo of vampires. Hairy and squat with a hunchback, jaundiced skin, and rotten black teeth, and frequently
Ew.
described as looking like a monkey. He's not going to win
A
any
monkey.
Lestat look-alike contests anytime soon. Ironically, he may not, maybe not. The La Boschman primarily preys upon women
Oh, of
Right?
course.
who
Yeah.
become raven nymphomaniacs after they've bitten.
Nymphomaniacs?
Nymphomaniacs after they're bitten.
Nymphomaniacs. Okay.
So, Ann, you're probably saying, how can I protect myself from this
yes,
lobisherman?
How?
Is that like a lobster fisherman? One can easily exploit its weakness. In the intoxicated state, he enters after a nip or two of blood. Once he passes out, so he gets intoxicated.
He passes out. He gets drunk and passes out. What
Yep.
kind of vampire does that?
This is like most men, right?
Yeah.
Once he's passed out, feel free to stab him or crucify him or anything else that's particularly energetic.
All right, what's next?
Oh, yeah, what's
Running
next?
out of time here.
No, we're not. We got time. We got time.
All right.
All right, let's go to.
We got our Elven
Where do you want to go? Caribbean?
Sure.
Because we all go to the Caribbean.
Yes, I would love to go to the Caribbean.
An old woman who made a pact with the devil for, you guessed it, supernatural powers is the Loup-garou.
Rougarou.
Yep. And it must appeal her dark lord with the blood of a victim every night. If she can't supply the devil with the agreed upon payment, he will take her own life's essence in turn. Before her nightly sojourn, the Loup-garou anoints her body with magical potion that allows her to slip off her skin.
Ew, God, we get entrails, now we're losing our skin like snakes.
Which she
Cool.
leaves under the devil tree, transforming into a glowing, sulphurous ball of light, which then searches out for its next unsuspecting victim.
Wow. Okay.
So how do you
That
protect
kind of
yourself?
becomes an alien.
How do you
huh?
protect yourself from the
How do we do
Loup-garou? Apparently, this vampire
Loup-garou.
has one bad case of OCD, like me. Thwart the Loup-garou's attack, place a pile of sand outside your door. She will be compelled to count each grain. And once the sun begins to rise, she flees back to her hidden skin in an unhappy Satan.
2.
I actually watched that
3.
movie yesterday, The Devil and the Blacksmith, and that's what they did. They used to take sand and throw it down, and all demons would do that. And there are cases I ran into a case where they did something else, but okay, we have to do.
Okay.
So we have to move along, right?
Count the grains of sand.
Yep.
As grains of sand.
Okay. So Australia. How about Australia?
Sure.
You might think that country with the most venomous snakes in the world would catch a break, would catch a break in the monster department.
Uh-huh.
But you're wrong. The Yamaha-Yahoo, Yamaha-Yahoo, a small red.
Yahoo. Oh, there he goes again. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
friend.
it's a small red man-like creature with oversized head and no teeth. No teeth. It waits in the upper reaches of a
No
fig.
teeth? How can he be a vampire
Well,
with
let's
no
find
teeth?
out. Let's find out.
The heck?
It waits in the upper reaches of a fig tree for its victims, descending upon them to drain their blood through sucking of its feet and hands. After letting the weakened victim anguish a bit, the whatever your guy is, returns to swallow the person and then take a short nap and regurgitates them.
Oh,
Usually the person
these
lives.
are disgusting.
These are
These
real
are the
things.
most disgusting
You
vampires
gotta
I
know
have
these.
ever heard of.
You want to be a world traveler, you got to do this.
Oh my God.
Usually the person lives through the ordeal, minus a few inches of leg.
They live through it
Yeah.
after he eats them and throws them up?
Yeah, well, they're missing a little bit of leg.
Okay.
So how do you
All right.
protect yourself?
Uh,
Don't hang out on the fig trees. Other than that, it's the best ride to ride out the digestion process and then reconcile yourself after you get puked out.
oh my God. Oh no.
I told you these were good.
Oh yeah, they're good.
All
We've
right.
got some good stuff in there,
We
man.
still got some time?
Oh, I think so.
All right.
Not much.
Germany. How about Germany?
All right, do Germany, and maybe the last country we can visit on vacation.
The Alp is an odd little fellow. I guess he's called the Alp.
Alp.
Alp,
Okay.
like the Alps.
The Alps.
The Alp is an odd little fellow with a jaunty cap that imbues
Jaunty.
him with magical powers. The Alp sneaks into sleeping people's bedrooms and commits various acts of scandal, causing nightmares,
Scandal.
putting dirty diapers back on babies,
I'm sorry.
sucking the blood through men and women's
Yeah.
thingies,
Unmentionables.
nipples.
Okay.
And also not opposed to imbibing a little whatever. We're not going to go into that.
Skip over that.
Yeah, skip over that.
Keep it clean.
The
it
Alp
clean,
can
Van Helsing.
also transmogrify into a cat, dog, pig, or butterfly, but he only can do this with his little hat on.
His jaunty cap. His jaunty
So
cap
how do you
on.
protect yourself from this?
Please do tell us.
Putting dirty diapers back on your baby.
Because that just sounds like the worst vampire ever.
Well,
Dirty diaper
while it's
back on
not
the baby.
life-threatening, the Yelp attack is fairly annoying and can be easily avoided.
Really?
Placing a broomstick under your pillow. How the hell do you put
What?
a broomstick under your pillow? I don't know.
That's comfortable.
Or shoes next to your bed should do the trick.
Okay.
If you happen to wake up and find the Yelp in your room, ask him to come back in the morning with a cup of coffee, and he'll kindly oblige.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that was Germany.
Yeah, it was
Why
Germany.
am I not surprised? Why?
You want any more?
Why am I not surprised?
I
by
have
this?
more.
I don't know. Do we have time for more? I don't know.
I got a little one here.
All right. do a
South
little
Africa.
one. South Africa.
A witch familiar handed down what? A witch's familiar handed down the maternal line. The Impunju inflicts an insatiable bloodthirst upon its mistress
Why would he
enemies.
pick this list?
To the witch, the Impududu takes the appearance of a handsome, sexually receptive young man.
Finally, we have a handsome vampire. Okay. He's
But-
not a hunchback.
But
hairy
when
dog.
out running errands, it transforms into a lightning bird, roughly the human-sized rainbow feathered bird, and casts electric bolts on its wings.
Uh-huh.
I have no
Okay.
idea. All right, how
right.
do you protect yourself, and why would you? Effectively
Doesn't sound like he's too scary to me.
Effectively immoral, the impundudu is impervious to the customary methods of protection, except being set on fire.
Oh.
You must catch it first. Other than that, a local healer might have magical salve that created from the impundudu fat will help stave off an attack. So you put impundudu fat. And we got to wrap it up.
They're giving us the rap cue.
And there's so
after the
much more I could talk about.
Oh, thank God we got a rap cue.
I got to put the kababa.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
Oh
so
my goodness.
that's our show for tonight. And I'm sure you wish you missed it, but
Right.
unfortunately you didn't.
Oh, well,
We want to thank everybody for listening, and
Yes.
tune in next week when it'll be our anniversary show.
not next week, next month,
Same thing, next
Next
month,
month.
next week.
we're going to have a big celebration
If you're
for
on
our
podcast, it could be next week.
5-year anniversary. And I can't even believe anybody's still watching us. They're probably not. But at any rate, that will be next month. Until then, have a happy and safe
Yeah.
Halloween. And
Watch those dirty diapers
watch those dirty diapers.
hanging in trails.
Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween.
From ghoulies to ghosties, long-leggedy beasties, and things that go bump in the night. Deliver us, good Lord.